Hey guys, welcome back to Eversoul. In today's video, I wanted to have a quick little chat about the Talia banner because it has just gone live in the last 5 minutes at the time of recording this. And I just wanted to give you my thoughts on the banner and what I would recommend players to do. Now, obviously, if you just want to summon for Talia, there is no problem with that. She is a great unit, absolutely amazing unit. We'll go through her a bit more in a minute. But what I want to say is I would recommend holding out and not summoning yet. Now, once again, like I said, you don't have to listen to me. And with my suggestion, you can still eventually summon for Talia. But the reason I say that is because if we come over here to this screen here, which is the update that's coming up, we have Velanna's pickup summon banner that is going to start on February 2nd. And obviously we have Talia's banner going from January 26th all the way to February 8th. So I've mentioned this in a video before, but what I would definitely be doing is holding out on the Talia if you're thinking about going for her until we see basically what Velanna's skills are. So this one is Velanna. She's going to be undead. And basically, I would recommend, the reason I'm saying this is because if she comes out and she's like a full meta unit, takes over the meta, you may want to save and summon for her instead of that Talia. Now, once again, you can go for Talia. Maybe, you're going heavy into fairies, kind of like I am, and you need all that extra food. And obviously, if you go on the step up banner all the way to, I think it's 250. I'm just trying to find where my mouse has gone. I think it's around 250 where it is. Let's just go ahead and check over here. The 250 mark is fantastic for these because you get a bunch of food, which I know a lot of people are struggling with at the moment. And as you can tell here on my account, I'm at 40,000 and I am struggling. But the thing for me as well is I've already got 4 copies of Talia. So going in on this banner, I got 2 guaranteed before I even hit there. And if by 250 summons, I've also got like 2 other Talias, I don't really want to go all in on this to get the extra stars. So I'm already like heavily invested. So that also impacts my decision. If you have no Talias, maybe you want to go ahead and do it. But like I said, holding out because you're not going to miss your chance at Talia. It's just going to delay it. Now, like I said, if you want that progression now, if you've been saving up, you're like, I just need to summon, go nuts. But Velanna is coming. I don't know if I say her name right. She is coming. And that's why I would recommend holding out on this Talia banner just to wait and see. But when we look at Talia in general, I just want to take a look at her again. We've covered her a lot on the channel, but we'll go a bit of a deep dive because it is her banner and we'll talk about her effectiveness because she's a fantastic unit, a great support unit, great fairy healer. And buffer and everything. She's actually just got an amazing kit in general. So when we look at her main skill, she's going to heal allies based on her own max HP. Now, a lot of the time I prefer when these are based on the allies max HP, but because with Talia in the early game, a lot of people can run her as almost a pseudo carry where you power level her. She can sort of do a little bit, take a fair bit of damage, but also heal everyone more when she's power leveled and stuff like that. Now, if you're just using it as a support, then her max HP scaling isn't as great, but we also get that extra mana recovery, and this also has a cleanse, removing a debuff. Now, the cleanse on this is fantastic. I use this all the time in manual play because you can wait. If you know the timing happens, for instance, often if you're fighting something like, for instance, Jade, she has a charm. She will often use that charm on your highest attack unit, who's normally your carry. For me, it's Naya. She will always use that charm just before my Naya has her main skill ready, and then I'm going into ultimate range. So what I'll often do is hold out on Talia, not use her main skill until I see that charm come on. Then I will cleanse it with her main skill, and then I'm free to use my Naya to go ahead and CC and damage and just have free reign essentially and not be charmed and killing my team. So that is a fantastic main skill. I absolutely love this one. It's just incredible. The first sub skill we have absorbs damage equal to 12% of Talia's max HP for 10 seconds for the farthest ally and grants them a shield that increases defense by 10%. Now, this isn't crazy. It's handy in certain situations. You can try and min-max it to optimize who this lands on and stuff like that. But, it's just a nice little extra mitigation where sometimes you'll really notice it, sometimes you won't notice it as much. This one, we're going to deal damage in a little area. It's like a little beam thing she does, but it also reduces accuracy, which accuracy reduction is nice, especially if you pair it with someone like, for instance, Lindsay, who likes dodging. And, you know, if you can reduce the enemy's accuracy on top of this, it's quite nice. I got to make a whole video about Lindsay, because pushing through the human tower, Lindsay just needs a spotlight. I'm actually really liking Lindsay now. And then eventually it's going to remove a buff off them as well, which can be really handy for also increasing damage potential of your allies on that enemy if they've got a defense buff that you're stripping or something like that. This one's really solid. Just a flat attack and defense increase to all allies when she's on the battlefield. It's a really solid ability. When we look at something like, who is it? Prim, the undead healer, you know, she's got a 20% one, but you've got conditions to it about allies being within X meters. I can't remember how many. So this just giving a flat percentage of defense and attack. It's a nice balanced ability that you can get in there, which is sick. Then we have her ultimate ability. Now, this one, it depends on where you are. So I even now, even though Talia is not my carry or anything like that, I still sometimes use her ability. Maybe it's on like the first ult. Maybe, you know, I feel like I want to maintain momentum and I don't want to lose any units. I can use this. It can keep me healing up that little extra bit. It's going to deal some damage to the enemies as well, but it's that extra heal and mana generation that it sort of works as just basically a supercharger for your team to keep running. So instead of dealing damage with my first ultimate, maybe I do this to keep myself healthy, but also speed up my progression into my next ultimate. And then the next ultimate is when I can reset. The thing that this does is it also knocks the enemies down, which is quite solid on top of the fact that it deals damage. This is what really makes Talia like really, really amazing in the early game, because she not only heals, increases energy, buffs attack and defense, she then also deals damage. And if you have a power level, it can deal nice damage. Now, I don't see many people, you know, like using a power level Talia, you know, in chapter like 10, 11, 12, but it's still a nice tech ability to use at some stage. Now, the other thing we do have is her artifact, and I just wanted to touch on her artifact quickly. I mentioned it in an artifact video, and I still had some people telling me their opinions, so I always like seeing what other people say, because like I said, in these games, you know, no one's opinion is right. It's just an opinion, and that's all it is. And this is going to be her artifact. Now, the reason I don't like her artifact as much is because it's only tied to her ultimate. And artifacts that are tied to the ultimate mean if you don't use that ultimate, which is the Star Arrival Day, you're getting no effect out of it. That's my one issue with it. It's like, I like to get effect out of my artifact all the time, but this one, you know, you're getting niche usage. However, I do think that once you do get this on top of her ultimate, which gives her an additional 225% damage on top of 310 total, that's giving you a pretty solid, what did I say? That was 225, and what was this one? 280, that's 505, 505% damage multiplier, which is quite solid on top of all those other effects that you get, being the healing and the energy, and then you get a 3-second stun. I do agree with some people that when this gets maxed, she could be the primary ult user that you want to use, because you're getting massive damage, you're getting CC, you're getting healing, you're getting everything. So I think in the long term, once this is maxed out, I do think there will be a lot of Talia usage at like in the late game. Because of what this would offer. It offers everything you want in ability. Now, it is only a 3-second stun, which isn't the longest CC you get in the game, but the fact that it offers so much from one ultimate, I do think this is actually a good option for the long run. However, in the short term, I feel like there are better options when you only have 3 on a wish list, but definitely I can see this having a lot more play, especially like once we get to like level 240 and beyond. I think she's going to be an absolute savage with this. Like I said, it just offers too much, but in the early stages doesn't quite offer enough to me when you're not using that Talia ult all the time. And also maybe when we get into the later game, it becomes that we have, you have to use multiple teams to complete a campaign stage. A lot of idle games do that. And then you can have one team focused around Talia making her ult and using the battery and using your other allies to maybe buff with ultimates or something like that, with main skills, while she is there to deal the damage, healing, energy, battery, everything. I think she's an absolute wicked unit. But that was just a nice little Talia Talia recap to give you my thoughts on it. But like I said, even though she is an absolutely fantastic unit, I would just wait until, what was the date? Let's check this one. Until the February 2nd, and just wait and see. Wait and see, let some whales do some testing on Velanna, see how meta she is, because the great thing about Talia is you can use her at 1 or 2 copies and still get that good battery usage out of her with the energy regenerations. However, maybe if Velanna's becomes like a really top DPS, you really want dupes of the DPS, so that's where it might be worth saving onto. But like I said, you guys make your decision. If you want to summon, don't let me stop you. I just wanted to put this out as a bit of a PSA, but thanks for watching. Hope you have an awesome day, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. Cheers.